Brotherhood. We've been dealing with brotherhood this month. The first week we talked about how we hold people to different expectations and different standards when we deal with them. We talked about how if we're really going to love one another, we need to have no expectations of each other. To love someone else, we need to love self. We need to stay connected, keep our identity, realize our unlimited nature, and see our brothers at the highest level. When we take care of the Christ within, we can help our brother take care of their Christ within. So that was all the foundational understanding of brotherhood. And then last week, Cheryl tackled some challenges. She dealt with that emotional component that attaches us to people. Obligation, guilt, the perception that we need to sacrifice for one another. Did you enjoy that service? Many did not. It was a tough one to hear. It's a tough one to hear, so I recommend you hear it again. It's on YouTube, Facebook, our website. But the reality was, as we follow our own internal guidance, and we know that we have opportunity versus obligation, then we can ask, is this mine to do? And if you ask if it's yours to do, then you will be in your right and perfect place at the right and perfect time to really help and to be a part of the Brotherhood of Light. So that was the theme for that one. So today we're talking about Brotherhood in Motion, and I want to take us back just a little minute. In May, we started working on a series where we started talking about community and culture. I don't know if you recall. Community being a common unity, and then the culture being the behavior patterns that are agreed upon and acted through in that community. You remember we went to great extent about it. Again, review May. And so I want us to be thinking also now about common unity. Common unity, if we had a true common unity, we could actually have a true brotherhood. Do you see? Common unity allows us to have brotherhood, community. So I want to start with that, and I want to use a scripture early in the Aquarian Gospel, chapter 83. Jesus is a young man. Well, actually, he's actually on his mission, so he's in his 30s. He's on his mission with his disciples, but this time he's kind of by himself. And he's traveling through Samaria. And you all know historically the Jews and the Samaritans did not get along because the Samaritans had intermarried with the captors of Assyria. And the Jews had gone into captivity. So the ones who intermarried were Jews. They intermarried with the captors and became the Samaritans. And their faith and their beliefs of God were very similar, but they were now the lower rung of people because they were no longer Jews. They betrayed their faith by intermarrying the captors. Complicated, isn't it? Can you see the ire? Jesus is traveling through Sychar, a Samaritan city. He's teaching, he's healing. And they have their own temples. They have their own priesthood. And the priest, the ruler of the synagogue, sent the priests out to find out what this rascal was up to. Is he trying to convert people back to Judaism? Is he telling them that their faith is wrong? What is he up to? And the priests go and ask Jesus what's happening. And he said, go and tell the priest and the ruler I am not engaged in a crime. I'm healing hearts. I'm helping the sick. I'm helping those obsessed. And tell them that the prophet spoke of me. And the ruler of the synagogue was intrigued. So he went to the marketplace himself to see what was going on. And when he saw Jesus, this is what Jesus said, behold, the honored men of all Samaria, the men ordained to lead the people in the way of right. He's honoring the ruler. I am come to help and not hinder their work. There are two classes of the sons of men, they who would build up the human race upon the sure foundation stones of justice, truth, equality, and right, and they who would destroy the holy temple where the Spirit dwells and bring their fellows down to beggary and crime. The holy brotherhood of right must stand united in the stirring conflicts of the hour, no matter whether they are Jew, Samaritan, Assyrian, or Greek. They must tramp down beneath their feet all strife, all discord, jealousy, hate, and demonstrate the brotherhood of man. So Jesus honored this man, honored his faith, said, you are doing a good job. You're leading people to the way of justice, right, peace. And he honored that potential of brotherhood with them. He honored a brotherhood with them because he was about the same thing. But he did not say, now let's go beat up the people that are the second class of man. He said there's two types of people, the people who love and support the race and the people who tear the race down. And he didn't say, all right, let's gang up and let's go get the people that tear the race down and let's tell them they're wrong. He said, let us take the qualities that take us away from love, justice, equality, and right, and put them beneath our feet. We're going to walk upon them. We're going to take dominion over them. When we visited Egypt a long time ago through the Cairo Museum, the pharaohs would literally have underneath their shoes the name of their enemies so they could walk upon them. So the idea of tramping upon and stamping upon something that you do not want in your world would have been common in that culture. So they understood this is not a call to fight them, it is a call to put them beneath you. And he's asking these people to put beneath them qualities, jealousy, strife, discord. All of these things, conflict, put them beneath our feet. He is asking them to take them out of their behavior. If we're going to have a culture that believes in the equality and oneness, these qualities, these negative qualities that create dissension and separation cannot be a part of our culture. Do you see? We have to change our behavior so that our unified brotherhood walks a different path. It has a cultural behavior of equality, love, and peace. So, justice, truth, equality, and right builds up the race. The holy temple, the destruction of the holy temple that houses our spirit, what is that but our humanness? What is that but our human body that houses our spirit? Destruction of that, diminishing of who we are as people. This tears down the race. Tears down the race. He went on to say this. United in the cause of right we stand. And he is speaking to the ruler in front of everybody. United in the cause of right we stand, divided we will fall. And then he took the ruler by the hand, and a love light filled their souls, and all the people were amazed. And every time I read that, the first time I read it, every time I read that verse, I can just see the connection of the soul's purposes coming together. Their purpose to walk in honoring humanity, to walk in lifting the race, to walk in justice, rightness, and peace. Their connection. And it took them to a almost supernatural space where the love could be seen. Do you see? Do you think they ever stopped being brothers in the ethers? They were united. They were united. And they were united because the behavior that they were both exhibiting and adopting was common. A common belief and a common behavior. We're believing in this, and we are not going to act this way. We're going to act with equality in our hearts. All right. Jesus was creating a pattern of brotherhood for us to follow, to unite in good, to build up the race, to not deny the holy temple of our brother, to not diminish the value of our brother. And it's done when we, as people, do not have conflict in our lives. How many of us have conflict in our lives? We all do. We have conflict with certain vendors. I could say names and you'd all say, yes, I do have conflict with that vendor. We have conflicts with people. We have conflicts with our own dreams and aspirations. Wow. What if we could stop that? What if we could stop arguing with ourselves? As long as we argue with ourselves, we're going to have a conflict outside. As long as I'm fighting with me and wrestling with me, somebody is going to come and display that before me. What if we could walk in the path of rightness? God, I am not feeling clear. Bring the rightness to this situation. Let me feel the rightness in my heart. Are you with me? There are so many situations in history when I've been in that, they were a knotted, gnarled mess. Emotions flying, people mad, it's just, ugh. And there was nothing that I could do to offer peace, but I was right in the middle of it as a minister. And the first time it happened, it was bad. And God said to me very clearly, can you just step back and give me room? I said, yep, I will. I stepped back. The solution was could not have been formulated in my mind. I had no idea. But the solution that came was perfect, and it created harmony for everybody. Everybody. When we are following our inner guidance, everyone will be where they need to be, if we're all following our inner guidance. If I'm following my guidance and where I need to be, I'm not standing in anybody else's place. I'm where I need to be. And if I'm where I need to be, God is using me to bless the whole that's around me. And if you're following your guidance, you're where you need to be. And we have this beautiful, harmonious expression and experience of life. If I'm where I need to be, do I need to have conflict within myself about it? It may not be exactly where my ego wants me to be today. Does anybody fight with your ego? Yeah. Conflict will take you to conflict. All right. Are you jealous? If there's any iota of jealousy about anything inside you, you are denying your spiritual Christ to achieve. You're saying, I'm not limited. I am limited. You're saying, I am limited. That person has what I can't have. Wah, wah, wah. That person just said yes to it. You didn't. That person said, I want to learn that way. You didn't. You can have anything you want. Anytime a spark of envy comes up within you, this is your opportunity to say no. I can have anything I want. What do I want? Do I really want that? Or do I want something different? What do I want? And move toward choice. Equality, equality, equality. If someone has it, you can have it. If someone's doing it, you can do it. Equality, you can do it. But we have to get all of these blockers, these are blockers, out of our body. They diminish our temple, our holy temple. The formula for brotherhood is to stay in the things that build up the race, not in the things that do not build up the race. We need to master strife, discord, jealousy, and hate. I don't think we go to hate much, do we? But dismissals, we do. We can dismiss people. We can not give them the consideration that they too are God's child. There are things that we do that we can work on. When we stay in the lower frequencies, we cannot unite at a higher level. Our common unity becomes the people that also vibrate with us at that lower frequency. Because that's our common unity. If we're staying in lower frequency, we're going to vibrate with lower frequency. And that's going to be our thing. So, you will feel validated in your disharmony, but will you feel loved? I really need to be mad at someone right now. I really need to be mad at someone right now because my life is out of control. Okay, well, I'll draw people that really need to be mad at people too. So I'm validated. Yep, that's a good thing to do. But is it bringing me love? Is it helping me go forward? Brotherhood can happen at the lower levels too. But it's not the brotherhood that builds up the race. It's the brotherhood that tears down the race. Okay. All right. I want to shift. Everybody say, I got all that, Cindy. I got my homework. I know what I need to work on. Okay, so here's the other aspect that I wanted to talk about today, which is the second half of bonding. We can bond at those higher levels when we love and rejoice at life. But most of us bond at an emotional level. We bond because you feel like I feel. Oh my God, Becky, you're my bestie now. Oh, and she's validating me and I'm validating her. We feel the same thing. Now, how many romantic relationships started that way? because I feel like you feel. Now we're safe with each other. Doesn't matter what you're thinking, how you're living. We feel the same. So you bond at this level that is not sustainable. If you're feeling the same and that's how you're bonding, you can't grow. Because if one partner grows, now you don't feel like me anymore? No, I'm feeling like this now. Oh. We do it emotionally. So, the Spirit asked me to give you this example, so I'm going to try to weave it in. This was ancient history that was not even in my upper files at all. But this is going to help somebody. So somebody will benefit from this. Somebody's going to benefit from this. All right. Do you know how sometimes you have high spiritual experiences and you bond with someone and you just think, oh, that's just the most amazing thing in the world? And you're bonding with them? And everything is so beautiful? And has anybody been on a retreat? And when you're on a spiritual retreat, and you're doing healing work, and everything is just so beautiful, and it's like, oh man, and you just love these people that are with you because everybody's just bearing their souls, and we're all healing. It's fabulous, and God's in all of us, and you think, these are my peeps for the rest of my life. We do. This is the example they reminded me of. I was at Unity Village. I was 32, very young, and I was at Unity Village studying. And it was a retreat, bonding with everybody. It was amazing. We're all healing. It's fabulous and wonderful. And I met this girl who was younger than I was, and everybody's bonding. It was fabulous. So I came home. Unity Village is in Missouri. Came back to Atlanta, and the big Unity was having some sort of event. So this girl called, and she goes, "Cindy, I'm coming to Atlanta." It's like, great. So we made plans. We're going to go to this big event together. She's going to spend the night with me. So she calls me later because we're making plans. It's almost time. So she's on the phone, and she goes, "Yeah, I can't wait to get down there. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to get a fifth of liquor." I don't remember what kind of liquor, but a fifth of liquor. We're going to stay up all night long and drink and party. And I went, "Well, I don't drink." And she went, "Oh, well, I have another girlfriend I can stay with." And then she said to me, and then she said to me very clearly, "Look," she's younger than I am, remember? "Look, I'm a weekend away from a husband I'm not happy with and my 3 kids. I am partying." And I said, "Great." And there was no hurt or anything because I understood where she was. I had been in that valley and left many a stepping stone in that party world. So I understood what she was feeling. So it's great. You go do what you need to do. I'll see you at the event. But when we connected at the event, it was very apparent that we had bonded in a moment of healing, not in a moment of living. In a moment of being in a high energy together, and we're all healing together, we're feeling God together, but our lives didn't do this. They went that. It was different. So Spirit brought this to my awareness to tell you, we think we bond emotionally, and then we expect those emotions to carry us on through forever. But the way we live is really how brotherhood is bonded. It's the culture beliefs that we choose to live on that bonds us. It's, I'm going to see good for every man, that bonds me with everyone who seeks to see good for every man. I'm not going to diminish anyone. That bonds me with everyone who doesn't diminish people. Do you see what I'm saying? It has to be a chosen way of living that bonds us versus an emotional compatibility of a moment. A chosen way of living. I will always tell my couples when I counsel them, you guys need goals together. Oh, we love each other. I mean, this is new marriages and stuff. Oh, we're in love. It's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, you need some new goals together, and you need to write goals every year that keep the two of you bonded, because you're going to go this way, you're going to go this way. That's life. But if you have an agreement of how you're going to live life, you can stay in connection. If you don't, you will separate. We have to have an agreement of how we're going to walk our life. And the common goals helps us stay there. Do you guys see? So when we're talking about brotherhood, let's go back quickly to the ideas of Jesus when he was saying justice, righteousness. If I honestly, truly believe in the righteousness, the rightness of God, then I can stand in my guidance and trust that everyone who is listening to Spirit is being taken care of. And trust that everyone who is not listening to Spirit is doing what they want to do. They're learning in a different way. They're learning in a way that they need for themselves, if I can believe that. I wanted to share one more story with you guys. This is about the blind man. It's in 139. It's a beautiful story. I love this man. This is the one healing story that actually takes up several chapters. And this is the man who was born blind, and y'all can read it. 139 is the chapter I'm going to use, but he was born blind and Jesus healed him, and he was taken to the synagogue. We're in Jewish territory now. He was taken to the synagogue to testify what had happened. And because Jesus was not supposed to do what he did, so Jesus is in trouble. And they're saying to this guy, were you really blind? He goes, yepers, I was. And they said, well, who is this guy that healed you? And he goes, I don't know who he is, but he came in and he healed me. And he must be of God if he healed me, because even you know that only God has that power. And they keep giving him a hard time. And so he says, it's a marvel that you don't know who he is, because he opened my eyes. You know that nothing but the power of God can do such things. God hears not sinners pray, and you must know that he is not a wicked man who can employ the power of God. Then the Pharisees said to him, you wretch, you were begotten and were born in sin. Now go, and now you try to teach us the law? And they cast him from the synagogue. So, you wretch, how dare you come in here and tell us what the law says? Get out. The thing that you don't understand is being cast from the synagogue is not being kicked out of church for the day. It's being kicked out, permanently. So he was disenfranchised, the Catholic, excommunicated. There we go, excommunicated. He was in trouble, spiritually in trouble, and he didn't care. It's like, I'm going to stand in my truth. My eyes were opened. I can see clearly. I don't care what you guys say. I have to stand in my truth and see what I see. And this is the one time in the text that Jesus seeks out a man. Someone told Jesus what happened, and Jesus went to find this man. And he talks to him. This is what he says. Do you believe in God? Man says, I do. But who is he, the Son of God, of whom you speak? And Jesus said, the Son of God is he who speaks to you. And then the man said to him, why do you say the Son of God? Is there but one? This is a man who's trying to see clearly. And Jesus said, all men are sons of God by birth. God is the father of the race. Can we just hear that, please? God is the father of the race. It does not matter who anybody worships, how they worship, blah, 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 blah. We are all God's children. Father of the race. Say, okay. Okay. Got it? Yeah. If that's not your baseline, good luck. Thank you. I didn't know what to say. God is the father of the race. But all are not the sons of God by faith. He who attains the victory over self is son of God by faith, and he who speaks to you has overcome. That's why I'm called son of God. And he says he is the pattern for the sons of men. So here's the thing. He who believes, does the will of God, is son of God by faith. And the man got excited and said, I want to do that. I want to be son of God by faith. And so they began a good relationship. So if we look at that, believe. Believe is the greater, you have to believe in the greater power than the world can give. Do we believe in a God and a greater power than the world can give to you? Do you believe? Do you believe? If we don't have that, where are we going to go? If we don't have that. You know what Spirit showed me this morning? I was meditating and I went into a space of no sound. Have you ever been in a space of no sound? I didn't like it. Because there was no vibration, there was no energy, there was no movement. Nothing was making sound. And then I saw the earth with the birds and the wind and the trees. There's always sound. There's sound everywhere in our world. It may be subtle, but there's vibration moving, so we're going to interpret it. We're going to hear things. What a great and awesome privilege to be here in this place where there is motion and creation and energy. If you can look at this place that way, you can believe there's a greater power that holds it. So believe. Then the will, if we walk in the will of God, he who believes and walks in the will of God, you are not puppets. You're children of God. You're here to learn to create. To walk in the will of God means to walk in love, harmony, justice, equality, rightness, all the things and qualities that lift up the race. Love, joy, all of these things are walking in the will of God. And following his guidance is following the guidance of your own inner heart, following the guidance of the greater moving through you, following that guidance, walking in the will of God. So, if we can believe and walk in that space, then we are sons of God by faith, because we are knowing what the world cannot validate for us. We are knowing that we know, and the world cannot validate it for us. Now, if we can hold that frequency, believing, will, faith, walk in that, stay in that energy, knowing God, good, right, hope, greater, creation, love. And that is not only a belief, but it is how I'm choosing to express. When I unite with a brother, how strong is my common union going to be? Because it is a common union that actually covers my temple, my earthly temple, and all that I am in spirit. All that I am in spirit. How magical would it be if we could just vibrate to the Christ of consciousness? Vibrate to bonding, to the common bond of people who hold the same beliefs you do. How powerful is that brotherhood? That is the brotherhood that changes the world. I love bonding emotionally, but my brother is the one who lives the culture that I live. The faith, the light, the peace of God. Let's go within. Let's just breathe and feel that beautiful light of God pouring through the space. And I want you to feel like just a canopy of love coming over the group. Just imagine a beautiful canopy coming over us all, connecting all of us. And go to your heart. Feel your heart, and then feel everyone else around you. Father, Mother God, our prayer this day is for one another. And I would invite each of you just to feel the love that is in you and just let it move out into this orb of light so that it touches all those that are with us in this moment or that hear this. We are sending our light in community. Common unity to honor the unique Christ light that each of you is. And y'all just feel your love going out, honoring the Christ light of all the people. And there is only love. And feel Jesus Christ standing in the middle of all of our hearts, just standing in the middle, joining us all together. We choose to stand in the purity of your peace. And just feel his blessings to all. The light coming from him to everyone. There is only love. And allow your awareness to become aware of all of the love you have been receiving, even while you've been giving. Feel yourself engulfed and surrounded by the love of others that has been coming to you. And it feels good. It feels good to be part of a group that just wants to build up mankind, to have faith in spirit. And there is one light in this circle, this orb of light, there is one. Take a deep breath, breathe in all the love you can hold. Very gently let yourself come back into your body and just feel that love moving through, supporting and expressing through you as beautiful power, peace, and hope. We love you, God. And just feel your love for Jesus Christ. And you can walk with him whenever you choose. Take a breath again. And gently open your eyes. Could you feel the love?
Yes.
Could you feel others loving you? I love that. So we have our homework. So next week when we come in for Patrick's message, we're just going to be shining so brightly, so unified in love, he will be shocked and amazed. Say, yeah, God.
Thank God.